So I will link this material in the asset section of this course, so you guys can download this material and you can use this in your project. So what you can do is you can just go ahead and copy the material asset into your project. I'm assuming you're using 5.4.4 or later. In case you do not have that version, you can just take a look at the code. It's quite simple really. So in the material section, we discussed about how to actually make a material emissive. So basically you just take a color and you can multiply it. So this is the simplest form of emissive material. And I just expose brightness as a parameter. And over here just make the blend mode masked and the shading model unlit along with two-sided. So these are the settings you need to change. Over here, add a two-sided sine node and put that in 1 minus x. Then grab a Fresnel node and put that as well into 1 minus x. This is so that it actually outlines rather than highlighting the inside of the material. So you can preview each node to actually see what you're actually doing here. And over here, you just multiply the vertex normal with the thickness and plug this into world position offset. So that's going to be responsible for drawing your outline. Now what you can do is you can select your box and you can head into the overlay material of it and just drag the material instance. So I've just set it to whatever color I felt was good. You can of course reduce the brightness and maybe tweak the colors a bit. So I guess maybe around 7 for the brightness and maybe 10 for the thickness is good. So this looks pretty nice. And for this material, I feel this prototype material is pretty good. So this is prototype grid. So M prototype grid. This looks pretty good in my opinion. So what we can do is we can actually check few more. So there are few more actually. Prototype grid. So prototype grid gray. So I mean I don't see much difference. Not sure. I don't see a single bit of difference. Okay, so this looks little better. Alright, so we can keep this. Now the reason I kept this is because if you'd notice, it lines up properly without us actually UV mapping, so that's an advantage. If you really want to go to the headache of UV mapping, you could do that. Unreal has those tools, but for a complex shape like this, it is going to be time consuming, especially if you are an individual developer. Now, once you're done with that, you should get an outline over here. But let's make it a little more interesting. Now, Pacman is generally based in a dark environment, so it's assumed there is no such directional light, and you would have it something like this. But what I thought is we could make it like a day-night cycle. So, we could cycle like this. So that's going to be pretty nice. So first of all, head into the details panel and just make the directional light movable. So at runtime, we can edit all the settings, whatever is required. Now what I want you guys to do is you head into your level blueprint, grab a reference to the directional light. So grab a reference to this directional light over here, and using the reference, what you can do is you can drag off of this and you can go ahead and add rotation to it. So what I'll do is I'll do it on event tick, or you could use a timer as well, that's totally up to you. So we can use a timer. So set timer by function name, set timer by function name, and we'll set this to be a looping timer, and let's say we make this 0.016, so that will be 60 frames a second roughly. So 0.166 would be 60 frames a second, and what we can do is we can call rotate light. Alright, so and we can just have a variable and we can call this one rotation angle. So in each iteration, how much we are going to rotate. So move this over here, and you can type in add actor rotation, add actor local rotation, or you could also go ahead and set anything is fine. And over here, so I want to change the role, I believe. So no worries if you don't figure out what setting you're actually changing. And we're going to put this over here, and we don't really care about stopping it. Alright, so now if I hit play, so let's see. Maybe it's a little too slow. I'm not really sure. So I'll just make it 10 for now. Go ahead and press play. So this doesn't seem to be doing anything. So alright, so it was probably the Y. So I'm going to change this to 1. Let's see what happens. So it's going to rise up. So it's setting over there. It's rising and setting over there. So it's quite fast. Let's see what happens when we set Z. So I think Z was the right one. So this is pretty accurate. So this is pretty much what we want. We could add a little bit of randomization if we really want. So what we can do is we can grab a random float, and we could just multiply it by -1 if we hit a random boolean. So what we can do is we can get a random boolean. Alright, so not required actually, because that's going to make the sun go in only one direction. That's what we want. We don't want it to go in random directions. So grab in 2 random floats. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so this looks like a pretty good effect. So I would assume it's going to go through the same exact process continuously. And since this is a random float, it is not going to be the same. So in one run it may go like this. In another run it may go, a little bit slower or faster. So we can have that. But just so that it's not distracting, what we can do is we can just divide it by, let's say, 2. So it shouldn't be too distracting. Otherwise it's going to be way too distracting for the user. So now he can focus on the game, and the daytime is going to kick in. And I guess that should be good enough. I guess by 3 would be better. Alright. So this should be enough to set the day-night cycle for our game. Another visual artifact that I would like to add is a few point lights so that it looks a little cool. So what I can do is I can just grab this point light over here, just place it about right there, and just put it a little up over there. Move this a little right, hold Alt and move it so that you duplicate it. Then hold Alt and move it somewhere around the center. Doesn't really matter, need not be accurate. Increase the brightness to whatever maximum you can, so let's say 160, and increase the attenuation radius as well. So I guess now it's covering most of the things. Alright, now what you can do is you can go ahead and change the colors of these lights. So maybe for this I'll go with a more reddish tinge, and I'll just turn off my flux over here. By the way, I do recommend you guys use a software such as Flux. Helps you get good sleep. And we can go for green over here. So going to reduce that all the way down. So green over there. And we can do blue over here. So red and green can go all the way down. And hit OK. Alright. Now it may not look like much, but if we go ahead and press play, as you see, it gives a very vibrant look to our actual level. If you want, you can reduce the intensity of it a bit. I feel this is a little too intense. So let's say we make it 100 candela. So this should be fine. Now if I go ahead and hit play, as you see, the light pops up, and as soon as the sun rises, the light is going to get a little less intense. So the sun should be up any time now. Yep, the sun is up. It's kind of vibrating in the air due to a random number generation. But nonetheless, now we have a day-night cycle. Alright. Now, if you were to go ahead and search for this material, you'll actually find this material instance. We'll just go ahead and copy this, head into our materials, and we'll take this over there, and we'll use this instead. So, I'm going to call this, let's say, mi underscore map texture or map material. So, this is the material for the whole map. Now over here, actually if you head into the surface properties, you can actually edit the colors. So I'd like to make this a little more dark, so maybe a lot closer to black. Alright, if I go ahead and hit save, they should apply immediately. Now if you go ahead and press play, as you see, this is a lot better. And even for the top grid, I'd like to make it a little more darker. So black. So for the lighter one we get darker lines, and for the grid color we can make this completely white so that there's good amount of contrast. Alright, so we can head in and probably change this as well. So not sure which color this is, so that would be this one I believe. Alright, this is the only one left. So we can make this a little more dark. Alright, and if I head back and check in, and if I hit play, as you see, this is a lot more darker. Maybe that is more suitable for a game like Pacman. Maybe this white was a little too much, so we can make this grey. And even the one which was black over here, so maybe a grey shade would be nice. So this one as well. Reduce this. So now if I go ahead and press play, as you see we get that grid, but at the same time it is dark enough. So now we can enjoy both the lighting as well as have the grid show up properly.